criteria, no one is ever exclusively just one. I am going to start off our conversation and you're going to talk to me about possibilities, and then I'm going to morph into, well, what are the numbers, and then what's the process, or vice versa. Or I might not necessarily care at all about the process. I just want to know what's going to happen and where's my money. And so don't get too caught up on the fact that you were a Z. It's okay.
It is. I can vouch for it.
It's an enjoyable lifestyle. Absolutely. This one or got it. Circles are motivated by vision, squares by numbers, triangles by processes. Can I move on?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, so again, it was done for a laugh. Why? Because I wanted to get you out of your haze. I want to learn what, do you guys kind of like dirty jokes? If so, wonderful. And we're building rapport. We're having fun with each other. Pattern interrupted, or told you about that. Okay, so what do you learn from, or what do you gain from profiling? Not rhetorical.
You have a script for it.
You have a script for it, okay? Tell me about it.
Well, if it's a circle guy, you're going to hone in on his vision. If it's a numbers guy, you're going to hone in on the numbers and simple process.
So how can you tell?
Well, I cannot yet, but I'm sure that my script will lead me to enable me to tell.
I'll tell you honestly, it's, you're, yes?
Your script should appeal to all.
Well, your script will appeal to all generically.
Right, to the three.
And so and you'll see that the script that I have does that. But what it is most important is you're going to find out what somebody is by the questions they ask you. So, how does this work? What am I? I am process driven. So, hold on. Stop. What's this going to cost me?
Numbers.
So I just don't see how this is going to happen. Can you, what is this going to? What does this look like?
Circle.
There's circle. Yeah, exactly. So you gain a lot of insight in there because you now know how to address that person. You talk to them about you answer the question in the way that they asked it. So how does this work? Well, I'm going to give you a check, and you're going to go down to the bank, and you're going to cash it, and you're going to then be able to go and buy that car and everything else. I just completely am not communicating with that person, am I? He's asking about process, and I'm talking about vision. How many of us do that? How many of you have your spouse say you do that? Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not selling anything. So, people absolutely will tell you what they are. They're not going to come out and say, hey, by the way, I'm a circle. Please talk to me like that. But the questions that they ask, the words that they use will give you a very good indication. Do you think circles have different buying criteria than squares? Yeah. And somebody can have more than one. And can somebody change? Can I start off as a circle early in life and shift to a square later in life? Can I do that in a day? Yes. You can do it in a conversation, exactly. What's the best selling style?
Whatever works.
Whatever works, okay.
Adjust.
That's the answer. Whoever you're talking to, use whatever buying criteria they have, and that is the best selling style to use. Now, statistically speaking, more times than not, people are circles. About 60% of the world will pick circle. About 25% of the world will pick squares. And 15% will take triangles. This room was full of Z's. I've never seen that happen before in my life. So you guys make me really happy. It wasn't a shame. All right. Again, you can't approach a circle by being a square. But you have to be able to master these. You have to be able to sit down and very quickly recognize, who am I talking to? This should become second nature to you, because as soon as you identify the type of person that you have, if you are not talking to them in that style, you are doing yourself and them a disservice. Is this valuable?
Yes.
Is this making sense? Yes?
Is there a book on this and all that?
Yes. So this is very rudimentary NLP. We're going to get into a little bit deeper NLP in just a minute.
NLP stands for?
Neuro-linguistic programming. So, but if somebody's a circle, should you immediately morph into circle characteristics even though you're a square? Can you do that? If you are a triangle, can you talk circle? Yeah, it feels a little weird at first, I promise. But you can do it. And for the first time in a long time, somebody will actually feel like they've been communicated with. Kind of done that. All right. NLP. See, I told you. We're here. All right. Neuro-linguistic programmer. There are three types of drivers of decision: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. What I see, what I hear, what I feel. Now, this is very similar in terms of the circle, triangle, square. This is the more advanced methodology behind it. I love this clicker. There we go. This one, you don't even need people to tell you what they are. Just watch their eyes.
This is what we used in the U.S. Army interrogation.
Yeah? Well, hold on. We'll get to the telephone. We will absolutely get to the telephone. All right, so I will tell you something very plainly in terms of the eye direction. There is one exception to this where this does not work, or it is opposite. Do you know what it is? When somebody is left-handed, everything is exactly opposite of what I'm showing you. So you can always tell when somebody's a left-hander just by asking them a couple of simple questions. So, for example, and this is if you were looking at somebody and they were looking up and to the right. So now we're going to play a little game. I want you to imagine your car with pink polka dots. Where did your eyes go? You went in circles? You probably went, it's got pink polka dots. How do I feel about that? I'm not sure. I don't like that. You jumped around a little bit, but normally, let's play another game. Imagine your mother's voice. What does it sound like? Where do your eyes go? Okay? Imagine what your mother's voice would sound like if she had inhaled a bunch of helium and she was underwater. Where did your eyes go? The opposite down direction, correct? This is one of the weirdest parts of human nature. It just happens. And so you're opposite, like I said, if you're left-handed, this whole thing just flips. Do you think you get cues from somebody on the phone over what they are? Auditory, visual, or kinesthetic? Inflections in their voice? Questions? How about the words they use? Affirmation statements. That sounds good. I see what you mean. Yeah, that feels pretty good to me. I sense that makes sense to me. Well, they've just given you everything you need. So, again, let's see what we can do. I need to focus on what's ahead. I mean, there are so many things that you're going to hear from somebody that's going to tell you how they make decisions. Whether you're on the right page. And can somebody be Primarily visual and then auditory? Absolutely. So let's just go through some buying criteria. Who bought a new car recently? Wonderful, okay. When you bought your car, think back to when you were looking at it and deciding on whether or not that was going to be your car. When you made the decision to do that, was it first something that you saw, something that you heard, or was it something you felt?
It was something that I felt because we never should have gotten in that car to take your test drive, and that's when I was sold.
Ah, so it was the way the car made you feel.
Yes.
Okay. Was there anything else? Was there something else after that? Was it another feeling? Was it the way the engine sounded, or was it the way the car looked?
It was the history of that type of car.
So you got in it, and then you did some online research.
We had one before, and this
Okay.
was just like a more souped-up model.
Okay.
And, you know, the guy was a good salesman, because he was like, let's just drive this one and see, and he knew I'd be a goner. It just, I liked everything about it. I liked the features that it had, you know, I liked the way it smelled. I do like the way it smelled also, I liked the way it looked, I liked the way everything about it.
Okay. Except the price, that price. But, so what did she just tell us? She sensed it by how the car made her feel. So she made, her car buying criteria is emotion, visual, and then perhaps auditory. So we're going to go in, and when I'm going to talk to you, if I have a car for you, I'm going to say, you know what? I have a car. You are going to love the way that this thing makes you feel. When you sit in this thing, it hugs you. When you take corners, it steers with you. It's an absolutely amazing experience. No matter what you do, this car, it's intuitive. It just wraps around you and becomes an extension of you. The feeling is incredible. But more than just the feeling you get with this car, when you look at this thing and others see you in this, they're going to be so jealous because you were driving this car. I don't even know what kind of car it is. But I've just told her in her language, in the way that she understands, in the way that she makes car buying decisions, why she should choose this car. And because I spoke to her on that way, she's so much more apt to do it. There it is. Beautiful. All right, so I'll give you this list here in a bit because we're gonna play some games here. Auditory words, clear as a bell, deaf, silence, whatever. I mean, there are so many words in this. I'm going to give you these as a crutch for something we're doing in a minute. Kinesthetic, and they just go on. There is one other thing. It's auditory digital words, and these are people when you tend to look straight down. This is when you're accessing this type of information. So, we're going to play a little game. Who wants to do that? That's all that matters. All right, we're going to teach you guys how to speak a foreign language. So we're going to have you guys partner up. Do not partner with somebody you came with. And you're going to have a conversation. Talk about something you're very comfortable talking about, that you can explain in vivid detail. Whether it's your house, your car, an experience you had, whatever it is, you want to be able to give this in detail. Because what's going to happen is, for the first 2 minutes, you're going to only use one method of describing it. I'm going to use visual words and only visual words. And then you're going to switch and you're going to listen to that person talk to you in visual words about their experience, their car, their house, their hobby. And then we're going to keep going this. Pardon? I'm going back to it. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to give you all the words for a crutch. So you can just keep looking up and go, yeah, and you'll see this, and when you look out the window, and et cetera, et cetera. the reason that we're going to do this is because